Welcome back to Captain of Industry. My name is Nilaus and I'll be your guide on this walkthrough tutorial series for this wonderful factory game. I'm so happy that you are enjoying it and I'm enjoying it, so I'm really enjoying making these videos for you. So thank you very much for following along. We have a very big program today because we're going to be making a pretty cool massive oil build, and I want to focus on that. For that reason, I've done a few things between sessions. As you can see, I laid down some pipes from our sort of wastewater facility that we built last time. And you can see that it's also filling up. So we are having soil water filling up. We are having fertilizer filling up. That is a problem. And we're then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the acid that we are not really planning and that we're not really making at this point, unfortunately. And also the fertilizer. And drag it over here, and this is acid coming in, going into the copper plant. I just turned around. I didn't really like that it took so much space side by side, so I like this sequence here instead, so I make it a bit bigger, and they are just going to work on this. Could not deliver all the potatoes. Okay, and over here. So we are going to, by the way, there is a new patch, which means that when you click on Unity build, you don't have to unpause, it will automatically unpause. That is so nice, both for construction and deconstruction. What's also important is that all of the advanced logistics that you may or may not be using, you will need to go through those again. For example, I set up here some logistics to focus on this area where we will be making our shipyard. Designations are mining outside, don't care about those two. Oops, excavator's no fuel, I don't care about that one. They'll sort themselves out, I hope. But for example, for this part here, I was saying go into here, and they both have exports and imports. Funny that red is import, but okay, and green is export. I don't know. But anyway, that's going out, that's green. That's what you mainly set it up as. I guess it's because it's, I don't know. You can argue one way or the other, but it's red and green. That's what it is. So you can see here, these are now red, marked as they are inbound to this location. And I don't actually want to do that. I don't want to be sort of forcing them where to go. But definitely not here. Here I will be removing that direct. Will I? I'll just get back to these normal ones. And that's not going to work because it's set here. And anything else that I've set up, I've set up here. This was importing from just getting that. That's fine. Right, we want to be focusing on our build out here. So we do need to make two things available before we can start this build. We're going to make some oil build and we're going to make some water build. And what we also will realize is that we have 91 workers, and that is no way enough. Did that just flicker as in not enough power? That's weird. Yeah, maybe we need another one, but I can't do that. We need more people. That means we need a bigger location. I could actually just move all of these and just slide. I'm really just getting a bit desperate on how much I have here. So maybe I will do that just a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna make that. I did not plan to do that because I want to focus on. Yep, there we go. And that means there's going to be less food in here, but that doesn't spoil. All right, we get a few more. And they will be increasing by themselves. All right, let's first build an oil facility. We are going to use the big one here. That is... Oh, right, this way. I'm going to leave it exactly like this. And then I'm going to use module M. Module M unloads slightly faster or slightly less slow if you want to define it like that. And then I will build it into a big box. I do like the big boxes. I know there might be some who would argue that there is not necessary. I would argue that I like big boxes. And we'll get some pipes. And what I want to, it's honestly my second, maybe even third attempt at doing this video. And I want to make sure that I don't end up just spending 50 minutes of just pipes going in and out and in and out. So we'll be cutting things out so that we can, the stuff that we already have done. Now, back to the fact that this is a new release or a new release, that means you can also do stuff like this. And now it actually copies the transports as well. That is super nice. I don't actually want to do it like this because I need to rebuild it my own way. So I think I'll just rebuild it my own way. All right, so water and oil is now built and we are ready. Those are the two main ingredients that we're going to bring in. So what we want to build is, again, actually going to be over here. And I've marked these sort of roads that we want to maintain. And then we need to start building the next part. So I want to lay out this design, and my design principles for doing this is I want it to be clear what I'm doing. I'm going to be using distillation stage 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use the cracking. I am not going to use this research that we obviously don't have access to here. I know that some people go, why don't you just, and that's the reason is it's way out of our league right now, and we can add that when we get it later on. But at this point, we need to make sure that we do a distillation stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it here, and I will be saying oil will be coming in from the south. I'm just calling this south now, and I'll make 3 different distance between them, and then I'll make 3 distance between them. So this will consume 216 oil per minute, and that's going to be our baseline. What we're going to do is we're going to be looking at it from this perspective, and then it means we need some steam inbound, we need some crude oil. We got the crude oil, we got the steam from the water. Our main product here is medium oil. Heavy oil will be used for fueling the burners, and sour water will be going over here. So that's the first step, and the next step will then be the medium oil that we then need to deal with, and the medium will basically have the same method here, and it'll be like so. 48 out, 48 in. Could not be any better than this. Oh, I also sent my ship out in battle. And I could make them a lot closer, but by doing this, it's just super easy to see it and very, very clear. And I don't want to deal with spelt spaghetti here. So I want to make sure that what we are building is something that is very readable. I think readable is the right word I'm looking for this. And again, this is now producing 36 diesel, which is our main product. And also some light oil, 12 light oil. 12 light oil comes in here, becomes 12 naphtha, plus a lot of fuel gas. So that's also good. Let's do exploration. We got an oil rig. That's actually really nice. Let's get that, because we might not have enough oil rigs out there. And you can't go further out. No. So go back. And then let's actually get you to get the resources for the oil rig. Might as well. Okay, back again. So at this point now we have fuel gas. That will be one intermediate product that we need to deal with, and we have naphtha as well. So now it's time for us to deal with the naphtha part, and that will be like this. And here, that should be aligned straight in. I'm going to, the 2 options for naphtha is either naphtha to plus hydrogen. Since we don't have a consistent way of making that hydrogen, this is going to be a no-go. So we're going to go with the naphtha plus steam gets into fuel gas and a bit more sour water. But we know it to deal with sour water, so that's okay. And then we flip it over on the other side. Yeah. And we can now see that we have a common trend. Here we have steam, 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 steam. So we can make steam pipes all the way up here. And that means we can also take a look at where we want to get the steam in. We're going to use a gas boiler out here. This gas boiler will be using some of the gas coming in from the fuel gas. That's a good way of doing it. And the other gas boiler out here will be here. This will be working on the heavy oil. So heavy oil coming in here. That'll just be burned. There, heavy oil 24, and I'm producing exactly 24, so that's a perfect ratio. This produces 48 steam, and this produces, if we just go, oops, here, produces fuel gas and also 48. And this how much does this require? This requires 9 plus 9, that's 18. Plus 6 plus 6, that's 30. Plus 3 plus 3, that's 36. Plus another 6, that's 42. So this one produces 42, and this one also produces 42. Now I actually have enough oil to make this into 48, so I need to make sure that I also have a balancer in here, so that this will be the priority. But I won't be able to start it up, so for us to get this started correctly, I am actually going to put in 2 coal boilers here. Wow, it's super inconsistent that these are turning the different ways. Well, doesn't matter. And all of this will go into a, well, balancer here. These 2 coal will just be here to get it started up, but not anything else. Let's have a look at now what our inputs and outputs. We have dealt with all the inputs and outputs. We know what to deal with the inputs and outputs here. Now, fuel gas is the only thing we haven't answered that question yet. We have more fuel gas, sour water just goes over to the other one. And then we need to deal with the fuel gas. So that fuel gas, it is going to be, no, it's going to be this way. I'll make it directly in and make it directly in. So this is producing 30. This is consuming, if we change the recipe to fuel gas plus oxygen, goes into diesel. So that means more diesel and a bit of carbon dioxide. And I can make 1 more of these. These 3 can consume 108 fuel gas. And I also have to remember that this one is going to, this is the boiler, will be using some fuel gas as well. So I just need to make sure that is the 108 plus what we are delivering down here, which will eventually be 42 plus 42, that's 84 minus the 48. That's too much calculation, right? That's going to be 36. Yeah, so 36 here. So we're consuming 36 and we're consuming 108. Those 36 plus 108 is something. 144, yes. And are we producing less than 144? That is 30 plus 30, that's 60. And over on this one, it's 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18, and that is 72. So in total, it's 132 produced, 144 potentially consumed. Perfect. That means we can consume all the fuel gas that we're producing. That's the one thing we just wanted to check. This is just some of those things when you do the design, you have to make sure that you are actually considering that you can consume all of it instead of just going like, it's probably fine. And then, well, it's not fine. And then you die. So at this point, there'll be a lot of spaghetti here for the pipes. So the first thing I'm going to do is just set up the steam so we can see how that works. So now we hooked up steam and it looks really, really nice. So we get it in here and I'm going to start by prioritizing both of these outputs, but eventually I will be turning these off, this coal out, and then prioritizing only out here. We'll keep it like this. And the steam pipe goes in, complete straight line, and with branches off to the side. And you can also see this is exactly why I'm building it like this, because this line here is again also using just straight in, perfect ratio. Here it has to bounce over because 12 plus 12 goes into 24. And then I also built the oxygen lines back in here. Oxygen lines going. So what we need to do now is start working on some of the other lines. Now the next line that we need to deal with, I'll just switch these to coal. Next line we need to deal with is the outputs. And the first output we need to deal with is going to be, and I'm going to take a bad pipe, I mean a small pipe, not a bad pipe, but a bad pipe, whatever. Here I'm going to bring this up to level 2. This is my heavy oil, and I'm just going to illustrate how I do this. And I drag it back and then go in. And then I take this. So at this point, I've taken my 24 heavy oil, wrapped it in here for burning. Perfect. Next, I'm going to do the same thing for my sour water. This is important that I use a Mark 1 pipe for this. Or a Mark 2 pipe, because otherwise I'm not going to get the throughput that I need, because I am, oops, that is, I don't even know what that is. I am going to have 72. 72 is the name of the game. 72 of that. Here and here. So that gets this out. I'm going to drag it back again towards... I think I'll drag it here. Keep it at tier 1. Which will then go into here. And straight in. And then I can bring the remainder of this water from here. That'll also be... It goes to this location and then go back. So we've now dealt with all of the sour water excess here. Then we need to deal with the diesel. We have diesel coming out and we have diesel coming out. So those two we need to deal with. I'll put that on level 2. And on top of that, I'm just visualizing it. Then I'm also going to get the fuel gas. That's the other one. All of this is grouped here. That will be brought into a splitter here so that I can consolidate all of the fuel gas and then bring it back. Let me just pipe those things up and then explain what's here. Okay, so we hooked up a few more things. That's the diesel and the fuel gas that's now hooked up, and it's almost impossible to see what's going on here, but I'll walk you through it. So these are the ones that output diesel. So I'm putting up on tier 2, moving over and dropping down into a very big diesel box. Lovely. Then also we have this part over on tier 2. I also get the output diesel from here. That's 18 plus 18 plus 18, so 54 coming out and going in. So that gets us our consolidated amount of diesel. That will be 54 plus, what was that? Was it 72 or was it more? No, that's 144. So it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's almost 200. And that will be all going in here, and that will be the primary stuff. Then I did let's better look at it from this side. The fuel gas, let's look at the fuel gas. So these are outputting 18 fuel gas, and that goes up on tier 2. Then I drop it down into a splitter. At the splitter, I'm going to prioritize the output that goes back and feeds the gas boiler. Because of course, that's the most important. If this doesn't run, the whole thing jams. Then I'm going to take the output of the gas from these two fuel gas, also bringing into this pipe balancer, and then bring it all the way back out again and go in. You could sort of bring it directly in, but I do like just having them back here at this splitter and then feeding it in. So that means we now get all the fuel gas here. They will be consuming all of the oxygen, and then we have nitrogen. So they have two things we haven't solved at this point yet, and that is we need to get water inbound, we need to get oil inbound, 3 things, and then we have nitrogen. The nitrogen is interesting because nitrogen, here we are producing hard oxygen and throwing away hydrogen, oxygen. We're producing oxygen and throwing away nitrogen. Here we are producing nitrogen and throwing away oxygen. That's got to be something that can be done better. But you can't just go indiscriminately, just hope that it balances out, because it won't balance out. It'll depend very much on what is being consumed. So we need to do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the nitrogen here over and then consolidate in so that these are only producing to supplement any missing nitrogen that comes from over here. And on top of that, we're going to bring the oil. Not a lot of oil, my friends. Not a lot of oil. Why do you suck? Why do you suck, actually? Oh, right. That is because I only have one oil deposit, and I guess this is so weird. How about taking this iron and bringing it in here? No, that's not actually... Oh, this is also... It needs repairing, yeah, which is taking forever. And I need it to be also the construction parts. So we also need to bring construction parts in. I should have plenty of construction parts, shouldn't I? Unfortunately, as we start working on the next part, we'll be using all of that. Well, I guess it's because my train trucks are too busy to actually deal with all of that stuff. So we'll be getting this one. It's a bit sad that I can't get this one out. Let me hook up the water goes in here. The oil goes in here. And also the nitrogen. Let's get those things sorted so we have the whole setup built. And the ship is finally leaving, so that's good. Getting out there to get some oil. That means we are ready to get the next part started. And the next part is, well, trying to get the whole thing working. What I've done is take my nitrogen. I funnel it over here. I set it into a priority splitter, prioritizing here. And it goes in. You know what? Now that I think of it, I probably should be doing something slightly different here. Because that's probably going to help. If I just make it into a box first, then it'll be much more, can I say durable in this case? I don't know. There. And update. Like that. Ship battle is ongoing. Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll have some ship battle. Right, so at this point, I think we just hook everything up. What is the most important things to hook up? Now, we don't need anything in here. Well, I think we need maybe that one. Oh, location explored. Sweet. Coal mine? That's nice. Can I continue to explore? No, we'll go home. We also got a few people coming in, so that is also good. Let's see. What would we like to get in first? We get this for coal. We have all the other things. This one is not getting any coal. Well, maybe that's not a big deal if we have the water already, but it's kind of bugging me. All right, let's just get all of this to at least start working. And you know what? I think I want to pause these two, right? Not pause build, but pause transfer. Let's do that. So actually there, and then I pause it up here, and then I pause it. Not for the build pause, but for actual transfer, because I don't actually want things to be transferred out yet. I want to make sure that we have everything else ready so that when we get the oil inbound, then it should work. Let me also just build all of that. Boom. That's not going to build all of it, but let's see. Each of these take 100 and another 100 and another 100 and another 100 and another 100, and it's kind of expensive. So we'll have to wait a bit until all of this gets done. Unfortunately, in the meantime, we do have some little challenges here, because with the acute overfilling of fertilizer, then... Oh no! I forgot to talk about the fertilizer. I just hooked it up and I forgot to talk about it. So no wonder we can't use any fertilizer. Well, hello fertilizer. What we need to do, first of all, let's look at our food situation while we let the rest of it build. Food situation is both good and bad. We don't have enough vitamins because the only thing they can get that from is vegetables. But they can both get two different types of carbs. So the consumption of carbs is lower. That's the total consumption here is about the same consumption as that. So carbs and yeah, so it's 18 and 13 and over here 37. So it's way, oh, wow. That was disastrous. We just, wow. That's a disaster. Oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. Well, when you have homeless people, it is disgustingly expensive. Yeah, and I can't build this one, and I don't even want to build this one. Oh no, everything is awful now. All right, I'm gonna have to fix that, and the way I'm gonna fix it is by throwing away some food here, getting that over on this side in desperation. Get these undone, and then I can build it here. All right, I'm gonna fix this, and we'll come back and explain something about the food in a bit once this is done. We had to cut some corners. We built a little shanty town here, and on the edge of city, and also got some low quality food markets full of potatoes. So let's say this is not where the rich people live. That's too bad. They can be upgraded later, but right now I didn't want to use my yellow construction parts for this because I need a lot of yellow construction parts. Now I promised that we would be taking a look at this part here. So how does it work? When they get fertilizer in, they don't start use fertilizer. They only start use fertilizer when you use this slider. And when you use this slider, it will bring it up to a certain level. For example, at this point, if I drag it up to 100%, then that means in order for me to sustain this level of fertility, then I need to get fertility needed 10.9. That means I can only get that 10.9 fertility. I can only get that from from the fertilizer, and then each fertilizer gives us 2%. So that means it is 5.5 fertilizer per cycle per minute that comes in here per month. And that means, okay, so that's what we do. What I've also done is I've added another vegetable here because they are consuming vegetables twice as fast. So half of what I do should be vegetables and half should be something else. Cargo ship has no fuel. Yeah, I know, it's kind of low on fuel. And that should be working better on this build. Let's see, we are getting this one up here. And we have a lot of food here. But it also means that we are using 5.5 fertilizer per farm, and I have 6 farms, so that is 33 fertilizer we're now using per cycle per minute. That should get us going on start consuming this part here, and you can see that things are working. That's good. Are we getting the water inbound? No, we're not getting enough water inbound for this part, unfortunately. This one's also stuck. That's actually good that it's stuck. That should mean that whatever water we come out here should be going into these locations here. So we can get more of the acid, and the acid can then be pushed over and get us to get more copper, because we need more copper. So at this point, as you can see here, things are progressing, but they're not progressing as fast as we would like. So let's just try to do another upgrade here, and a few things might be done, but we need to honestly just wait. If you build it for yourself, you can build it a little at a time, but I wanted to build all of it at once. So once all of it is built, then we can start firing it up, since we have put a block on the spots. But that's just going to take some time, so no reason to do anything, but just wait for the whoosh, and then let's whoosh our way forward. And that is the last part of this build. We've had some ups and downs while waiting for this to come in. It took a while, but in the meantime, we had a bit of a coal issue and that kind of thing. But, you know, it's all fun and games. And now we have everything built, and not a lot of warnings. That's good. Maybe I just removed the warnings. You will never know. I didn't, but I did have a lot of warnings. I had so many warnings that I couldn't even see that my maintenance went down. So that's not good. You can no longer drop off because some idiots decided that they want to... Okay, I'm also digging way further down on this coal deposit here. And they're kind of getting... I think I'll just try this and see if it works. If they dig from each side, then hopefully they can get through before they get stuck. Otherwise, we'll have something to do. That's not what we want to do. We want to hook up this part. Now, here I'm using actually animal feed because we had some animal feed here. These have been allowed to fill up all of the steam here. So, okay, so they're not actually filling up the steam. We get the water. We don't have any of that. Okay. A few things sort of did pass through. I'll just make this priority 8 for now. They're burning through a lot. It's 72 for each one, and they're coming in here. So that'll just sort of barely get one of these little bursts of things going. But it is time for us to fire up. Okay. That one and that one. Power. There we go. Now that took a while to figure this out, and we can see it's coming in. Then as these start working, they will also be feeding back in here. So we are getting, our heavy oil is now producing as well. And that's the priority. And only until we find out that we're sort of saturated on all of this, will I disable the 2 solid fuel burner. Cannot lose supply of coal. Okay, I don't really want... Oh, 7 cannot reach. Okay, I will recover you. And I will recover you. And let's recover that. And I will recover this as well. And then I'll just put them back in here. And then they'll come up from the side. And I'll recover you. And I'll recover... I can't recover you. And get one more. Alright, let's go back to this part and see how things are working. Right, so this one is not working because we're not getting enough. That's the steam that's just pushing down here. Just gradually getting... Can you just please stop doing that? Yes, but that's good. Now I can actually recover because they're out of fuel. They recover, and then I pick them up again. These 2 will also be recovered. Right? Should be possible. There. Now it's getting that line down. Then it's all good. All right. Then we can take this out as well. Great. Let's go back and have a look at what we're actually supposed to be looking at. These are all working. Yeah. Should build another power plant. I'll throw in another power plant. But right now we just need this going along. That's going to be draining more coal. All right, we have to look at this. I may have sort of done this a bit too early because it's not the most important thing right now to do. But I wanted to make sure, since we had this process built completely. And this one also be anything that requires coal has to be speeding up. Diesel is okay. Look at that diesel. That's also not at all going to be like this because this is a really good opportunity. How much diesel are we going to get in? We are going to get just a normal one. So let's get the cheap pipes. That was just something we built back in the early days, you could say. Let's do there. Need to make sure that I can actually get into this one. And you need to go away. Good. Slowly going away. And then I'll be building the other one. And we should now see that everything here is working much better. Except we might have some issues on the sulfur because that's sulfuric acid. No, what is it? Just acid. Might have some problems there. Oh, look at that. Look how quick this goes in. That is absolutely insane how quick we fill up our diesel build here. Are you done? 6. Not enough. Not enough. There. Perfect. Off we go. And I will then take from here. Done. Built. Built. Only problem is that this one is now blocked, but it doesn't matter because it's blocked by the level 1 over here anyway, so that's fine. We have massive amounts of fuel. This is also a good time for us to then make another fuel deposit, fuel station 2. Probably a good idea to make one right there. And that will be a good pipe because we want to make sure that a good pipe going in here. Okay, so that's a fuel station. I do want to set this up a bit better, but I feel that its most important thing is that we have this new oil facility. This means that for the next extremely long time, I don't really need to deal with this anymore. And now we can take these two out. There we go. They will be taken out because they should be self-sufficient with these two. And we have lots of fuel. Never gonna miss the fuel again. And we'll also bring it over to here for sure. That should be not a problem either. And yeah, so what are we going to do from here? Well, there's a lot of things that are just not working very well here. One of the things is that we have a lot of way too much fuel or way too much food, and that should be probably made into some what is it going to be? Some chicken for some eggs. That's good. Maybe even make some meat, but that's going to be a bit further along. But definitely make it into some eggs. So that means that's a lot of food we need here. So we can take some of this out. Maybe make a little location here for chicken. I don't know. Maybe also here. I don't know. Somewhere around here that's not too far away from our city. And I think we can also finally upgrade this to some better housing. They deserve it. After hanging out with me. Oh no. That's not really supposed to happen, isn't it? Okay, then don't grab that anymore. There you go. Anyway, that is going to be where we wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this design. I think it is super amazing, even though someone came in and just bashed it like, oh, this is a shitty build. I don't think it's a shitty build. I think it's pretty damn cool. It is balanced. It's self-balancing. It is self-sustained. It's easy to see what's going on, and there is no belt spaghetti, so that's good. And these two builds go hand in hand because all the sour water will go over here and be used for other stuff. So we have a lot of things that are built now and just working, so we can focus maybe on some of the other things that we have sort of left on the wayside, such as more advanced farming, as I said, and also some salt and glass, and therefore better vehicles. That is sorely needed as we are driving around so much in this base. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button. It helps a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care, and as always, stay effective.